So during the pandemic or the COVID-19 outbreak, I am still immunocompromised, and it's still a little bit unknown how I would have, or my body would have dealt with it had I have got COVID. So I did need to shield, which I did do for 3 months. Obviously in the beginning, I'm sure like it was for everybody else, it was all very confusing, and the letters that went out from NHS England didn't help because they were going out at different times and there was conflicting information. But because of what I do and the charities I work with and the people I work with, I was able to check that information and still also check with my treating team or my clinical team. In the future, I would say to anybody, you know, go by government advice, but go by your clinician's advice, your consultant's advice, and also the charities, because what they do, they spend a lot of time working closely with NHS England and the government to make sure that the people they represent are treated properly and fairly. So that's kind of like how I sort of dealt with it and how I managed it. It wasn't easy because I work in pharmacy, so I couldn't work from home. So I had to not work for 3 months, but I have since gone back to work, and my employer's been really supportive. They've you know, we have to clean the place. We have all the masks and things like that, and everything in place. So that's how I'm managing it now. So it's the usual, you know, washing hands, minimising the risk as far as possible. I did find it mentally hard to start with because it brought back a lot of memories from when I was isolating in hospital and around that time where I couldn't see anybody, and all the hand washing and the sanitizer, even the smell of the hand sanitizer, just literally took me right back to that hospital room, because that's obviously, you know, that sort of clinical smell. So I then, because I built up this network of support since my diagnosis, luckily, and there is a big community out there where you can tap into, so other people that were shielding, the charities, the groups and things like that. So that's kind of where I turn to say, look, I'm feeling this. I am too, because it can be a little isolating with AML, because, well, depending on where you live and everything, but generally people where I live don't understand. So that's where I find reaching out to these forums and, like I say, social media and the charities and other support places is vital, because then it makes you feel like you are more normal, because there's other people that are feeling the things that you are, like the flashbacks to when you were in hospital and things like that. So that's sort of like how I kind of like managed it. And to be honest, a lot of the things that people were being told to do were things that I've done all along anyway, and had kind of, since being in hospital, the having to be clean and having to wash your hands and that kind of thing is becomes part of your life at that point anyway. So you are sort of tuned into it anyway, because it becomes second nature, because obviously with blood cancer, AML being you know, severely affecting your immune system, it's something that stays with you anyway. And obviously help and support of family, friends, dropping off food and things like that for me. So that's sort of how I managed it mainly anyway.